What's up, guys? It's Frankie Finn here, and for those of you guys who don't know me, I am the author of the book Beyond the Agency Box. I've also, since 2007, built up 3 different agencies to, 100 plus simultaneous clients, and I've helped through coaching and mentoring hundreds of people all over the world, really, to live this whole beach agency laptop lifestyle. As you can see, I'm kind of working over here today on the patio, and I want to talk to you guys today about cold outreach done right. And I'll tell you, the way everybody does cold reach, maybe not everybody, but the way most people do cold outreach is shit. It doesn't work. And I want to show you a much, much better way that works more consistently, and it's zigging when everyone else zagging. It's doing the opposite of what everybody else does. So we're going to get into that, and you guys are going to crush it if you just follow this advice. So let's get into it. All right, so there's basically, by the way, if you want to get people, if you have the capacity in your agency to like reach out to strangers proactively and get them to positively respond, your agency can be as big as you fucking want it to be. And that's true whether you do it through ads or outreach. But I'll tell you the way people do outreach. There's basically like 3 big mistakes they make. And I would say it's actually like a combination of all 3, but there's one in particular I want to talk to you guys about today. So the 3, by the way, are send the same generic message to everybody, their offer sucks, and they're just messaging the wrong fucking people in the first place. So a little rant about messaging the wrong people, by the way. If you message broke people who ain't got any money, you can send them a gazillion messages. It's not going to make them secretly have money that they don't. Secondly, is if you have an offer that sucks or is hard to say yes to. I used to have one of those for years. It was like, pay me a lot of money for SEO even though you don't know me, and there's no guarantees, and wait a long time and hopefully that'll work. But no guarantees because Google's crazy. If you have an offer like that, you're going to have a fucking hard time selling that through outreach. But the one I want to talk to you guys today about is personalization. And that means actually writing messages to the person you're talking to. And to give you guys an example of this, okay? And this is something, a couple of our awesome mastermind members, by the way, Christian is working on something like this. And if you guys are interested in getting like somebody to do this for you who's a badass at it, who knows how to like follow up with people and really personalize it and really like write meaningful messages, drop a comment below and I'll have them reach out to you because they got an awesome service. But anyway, when I reach out, and I've done a lot of podcasts over the years, one of the worst things you can do is pitching podcasts is just send the same generic message to everybody. And this is how everybody does outreach. This is the fastest way to get screwed over and have a whole lack of woo in your life. Woo, 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 woo. Woo! You need more woo in your life, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that, but you need some serious fucking woo. So this is our format, by the way, for pitching podcasts. For those of you guys who want to do it, you're going to get a massive amount of value because pitching a podcast versus pitching a business is not different. So the first thing that we would do in the message is personalization. And to actually personalize it, I would go into the podcast, I would open an episode, I would scroll ahead, and I would listen to something, and I would listen for a minute or two until I found them saying something meaningful. And I would always start the conversation in there. So I would say, hey, Joe, I listened to your episode 1, 2, 3. I really loved when you guys talked about ABC. I could not agree more. And of course, you can see the title, so I'd click on a topic I'm probably already know I'm going to agree with, right? If it's an agency podcast, I click on an episode where they talk about personalization and cold outreach, and I say, damn, you guys are on the money. Then I would say, I would make them an offer which says, I have this really cool, unique show idea for you, which is this. And by the way, that was usually the same for most people. Although sometimes I would mix it up a little bit depending on who I was talking to. By the way, I just got attacked by a little string here. And then third is I would say, hey, by the way, I'm happy to promote you. I come with my own audience and I'm happy to share your work to them. How do you feel about that? And you would be amazed, by the way, this is my little new morning meditation spot over here. So when you do it this way, the key that really makes people open it is that they can tell with 100% certainty that the message is written for them and not just for anybody in the universe. And I'll tell you, when I get messages, I get a lot of generic outreach messages, especially as I start to grow this whole agency. I'm starting to have an audience. There's more than 6 of you guys listening to me now. And when people reach out to me, I'll tell you 9 times out of 10, it's just some generic, hey, dear sir, we do blah, 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 and it's just this verbal diarrhea. I'll tell you, the people who reach out to me and say, hey, Frankie, I read your book, and I'm part of your group, and blah, 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 immediately those messages get read. Why? Because it's about me, right? And so it's no different for any other business you're reaching out to. If you just reach out and say, hey, we do SEO, blah, 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 nobody cares. So if you take this podcast template and you think about using it a little more intelligently, imagine you said, hey, I was cruising through your Instagram and I saw this post over here about, so in my case it would be a law firm, and I saw you guys talking about how important it is to hire a lawyer who tries cases. Like, holy shit, I could not agree more. I've worked with some lawyers in the past who don't try cases, and they're always shitty lawyers, and they end up making the whole profession look bad. Really glad you guys are doing that. I had this idea for you about how you could get whatever I was, say I had an Instagram service or an SEO service. I had an idea how you could put more eyeballs in front of that video. And I've got a couple of promotion strategies for you. Would you be open to hearing a little more about it? Almost always that answer is going to get yes, by the way. The reason people don't get yes to their answers is because they just spam messages about their hammer. When I say their hammer, I mean, people use our services to build things. And selling a hammer is like selling the equivalent of like people are going to go on vacation. And instead of selling them the dream vacation and leaving the office and the beach and the sunshine, instead you're selling them the plane ride. That's what 99% of agency owners are selling, the plane ride. We have the best seats, in-class luxury, good miles per gallon. Nobody cares. They want to leave the office and they want to get to the beach. And that's ultimately what you're selling. So if you understand that and you personalize it, man, you'll find that you can send 10 messages and get 7 motherfuckers to respond favorably and say, I'm interested. And so when I hear people tell me, and I've got a couple of people in my group that say, I send 5,000 messages a day to dentists, or I send 7,000 messages a day to plumbers. What I need is a software that can send more messages. No, what you need is a better fucking system for sending messages. And the key with this is get efficient at sending messages and then automate it. Get efficient, make it work, and then automate it. So I would rather send 10 good messages and 10 good follow-ups and get that system working and then automate it before I would try to automate what isn't working. You'd be amazed at how many people want to automate shit that ain't working. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope this was a quality rant for you guys listening out there on the internet and my YouTube channel. Love you guys. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And may the force be with you.